What's up, guys? So, new video today, Cosmos Sessions. Let's get into it. So, this is a very important video because I don't think a lot of people realize how important the South Node is. So, let me talk about it. All right. So, basically, as many of you know, you have your South Node and your North Node in astrology, right? They are two hypothetical points that are exactly opposite each other. Your South Node represents sort of like the been there, done that in past lives on a karmic level. And the North Node is more so the metaphoric mountain that you're trying to climb in this lifetime to get the highest growth, but maybe it comes more difficult. It doesn't come so easy to you, right? So what's very, 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 very usual is for someone when they start their life to be in their South Node, right? That is what comes natural. Like I said, it's the karmic tendency, right? And of course, you could also say the moon sign as well, because that is that person's instinct. That's just what they do. Yeah. But really, someone, when they're on this spiritual journey throughout life, will have different, there'll be different periods. Like it's not just a linear journey from South Node to North Node. Some people will be kind of more in their North Node at some point and then back in their South Node. And it's really understanding what it means and understanding that the South Node is going to come a lot easier, right? So, for example, and also I want to say this too, that if you have planets in your chart, let's say you're a Leo South Node, and your moon is in Leo, your ascendant, your Venus are all in Leo, and then your North Node's in Aquarius, where you're trying to go, right? But then you have no planets in Aquarius, and actually, on top of that, you have no planets in air. You have no Gemini. You have no Libra. That is going to make it a lot harder than if you were in the same thing, South Node and Leo, but instead, your North Node in Aquarius had your moon in Aquarius or had your sun in Aquarius. There's some helpful planets, personal planets, which represent the actual functions in our personality, right? Helping you get there. So that's that. So yeah, as an example, I think, let's say someone's a Pisces South Node, Virgo North Node, right? So a lot of their journey here is to learn, let's say that I do their reading and I talk to them and I can tell that they have this karmic tendency of being too daydreamy, way more in the imaginary realms. They give up on themselves too fast, and they have all these great ideas, but then they just something kind of the lack of self-belief mixed with the inability to organize and create a step-by-step process. They just give up and they don't achieve these massive and beautiful Neptunian dreams. So that individual, it's like a lot of Pisces South Nodes, they also lack boundaries, right? And they kind of just go with the flow in life. And it's really that pull towards Virgo where they have to really understand, like, okay, if I want to actually grow, like living in my South Node feels very natural. It feels very flowy. It feels very, there's just an ease to it. But where there is resistance, there's growth, and that's what the North Node is asking from you. And so this individual with a Pisces South Node, they are being asked to, let's say that they're a really good astrologer or a really good artist, right? And they have all the skills, but they just sort of go with the flow in life. Their friend calls them on a Saturday morning when they're, let's say, getting ready to do a painting just naturally, and their friend's like, hey, come hang out, come have a beer. And they say, okay, I'll come, And and then in doing that, they didn't understand that Virgo process would have been like, no, like I'm going to be doing my painting today, and this is, this is important to me, right? It's also like, earth, it's about boundaries, right? So that's one example, right? That like the Virgo North Node is about getting to work, understanding what are the steps for me to take my South Node gift, Pisces, the artistic gift, the mystical gift, whatever, and turn it into something that's actually tangible, right? That's not just an idea and a dream, it's an actual thing, right? So yeah, and it's very easy to get stuck in your South Node, right? Because like I said, it comes so easy. My South Node is Leo, as I've said before in videos. My North Node is Aquarius. And I noticed that as I grew up, and I'm a Leo rising, Regulus rising also, it's the star, the fixed star that's on my ascendant. But basically, I am very Leo, at least my personality is, right? And I realized growing up that whenever I would, like, let's say with music, like I always had like a great talent for music, right? Not singing, rapping. And, I just never, like whenever I tried to do it, or anything for that matter, with the idea of Leo, lower Leo is ego in mind, right? Oh, I want to be, famous, or oh, I want to just, do it to be like, if it didn't have the right intention in mind, then it wasn't going to work. God was going to block that. The universe would block that, and that's kind of how it is with the South Node, right? But the North Node in Aquarius is really about doing things for the collective. You have to also obviously know the house it's in and whatnot, but sixth house for me, it's being of service and moving away from the me, Leo, to the we, Aquarius, right? So, I think like the main message I have is that people, like we talk about our big three, we talk about our Mars, Venus, but we don't give enough credence to how, like the South Node should be in that list. Like it's super important. I see it with clients so much. Like I'll just like break down their South Node to them, and sometimes it will be more like as relevant as like one of their big three placements. Sometimes more relevant than their sun sign to their life. If I explain, it's crazy to think about, but it's true. A South Node in Taurus or a South Node in Scorpio, if I tell two of them, obviously, yeah, the aspects, the rest of the chart, it's different, but like, it's a very important, in a very kind of bonding experience. So I think it's super important to understand to understand your South Node sign and understand what the high and the low manifestation of that energy is, and same with your North Node. On my Instagram, I've been putting out some high/low manifestation of the zodiac signs. I haven't completed that yet. I don't know when this will come out. So today it's April 4th, 2024. But yeah, like just learning about that, right? Learning about what the high and low is for those two signs is very, very important. And also I always send people back to my first video on what you can learn from your opposite sign, because with your nodes, watching the part, if you're a Libra, South Node, Aries, North Node, watch that part of that video about Libra, Aries. It's very relevant. But in conclusion, we're moving towards our North Node. That's our goal in this life, right? One of our many goals. So to understand, where we're moving from, we have to understand where we're moving from. And it's also not about villainizing our South Node. Our South Node is not some bad thing, right? The goal is to take the South Node's high energy, the high manifestation of the South Node, the gift that it gives us, and to use that to get to the North Node, right? Like in the Pisces example, that person is using that artistic, creative nature that probably came from many past lives of developing that side, that intuition, that compassion, right? But not falling to like the lower Pisces of like escapism, giving up on themselves, low self-esteem, etc., and then moving towards the Virgo of actually taking that all those good things I mentioned and turning it into something tangible that can actually help the world, that can actually, maybe it's a piece of art, maybe it's them becoming a healer or a professional of some sort, right? That is actually taking all that they learned in these many past lives that they never really shared with the world. So that is the essence of everything. Thank you so much for watching. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. It helps me with these YouTube videos. Check out my website, jesseinnocentastrology.com, if you want to book a reading. The wait list right now at the time of recording is very low. It's usually not like this. And yeah, follow me on Instagram at jesseinnocenastro. And I'll talk to y'all later. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Ciao. Peace.